that you are, you know, the creme de la creme of the entire comedy community of history, the history of the game.
Yes.
You know.
What was it like going from stand-up to SNL? Like, not that you stopped doing stand-up, but that's going into more kind of like improvisation, live.
I enjoyed it, but I was kind of like out of place at SNL because it was sketch players. It was people who had come from Second City, just improv troops. What's the one besides Second City? There's another one.
I just learned about Second City.
The Second City and the Groundlings. You know, it was just all these different improv troupes. And the writers as well. They had come from Harvard, and they had come from had nice credentials of writing on something. So to be a stand-up, you kind of isolated, and it's kind of hard, you know, because you're used to writing for yourself, and you're not used to putting things in a character form where there's a cast.
Yeah.
And so it's great when the writers work with you to say, we're going to develop this character. But if the writers, it's a hierarchy. So if the writers are like, we're going to work with Amy Poehler and Jimmy Fallon, or Amy Poehler and Maya Rudolph, or, you know, this person and that person, you know, then you got to kind of wait your turn, or you got to figure it out. So a lot of times in those days, me and JB was just in the room trying to figure it out. And Keenan was like, did y'all come up with something yet? You know what I mean? Keenan didn't write at all. But he was just a dope, you know, actor. So he could do anything, and they loved to write for him. And for me, it was just a little bit more of a struggle where I felt the pressure some weeks. Some weeks I didn't give a damn because the after parties were so dope, you know. I would just be waiting for the after party. And it's a live show. I would literally get on the phone at 12:58, call my mama and say, Mama, wake up. I'm about to go wave goodbye to you. And she'd turn on NBC.
Oh, wow.
And then I'd walk out there like 2 minutes later, and they'd be saying, hey, we want to thank Jennifer Aniston and you too. And it was a great show. Thank you. Good night. And I'd be off to the side, and I'd look at the camera. And then as soon as it was over, I'd call, Mom, did you see me? I waved back, baby. So that was my thing, you know what I mean? And then there was sometimes I was in 4 sketches, you know, and you hit a home run, you know. So you had those times. But SNL is a pressure cooker. Some people come off the show being extremely bitter, as you know, history deep has shown, and some people come off and they the creme de la creme of what comedy is. You know, they soar. And so for me, even off the show, I have had to find where I fit in with stand-up comedy. You were saying you didn't know me to curse a lot. I didn't even know me to curse a lot. But I think 20 years in the game and still looking dashingly handsome and young. You know, sometimes the bitterness of that should have been mine and this should have been mine, and or I didn't get this or that, it starts making you curse a little bit. You know, it makes you. It doesn't make you bitter toward anybody else. I've never been that type of comic, but it did make me say, where is my break? And then every time I would get something great, I'd be like, oh, this is my break. So if I landed on Disney Channel and I'm China's dad on Ant Farm, you know, that ran for 4 years. That was a 26-season show, 26-episode show. I mean, so it's like be getting all those checks. You know, you feel like you're winning, but you're like, but do people know where I am? And it was Bob Saget one day who said, Finesse, believe it or not, that's the best place to be, because you're guaranteed work, you're guaranteed checks, and those kids that are 14, 15, 16, 17, they're going to be ticket buyers in like 5 years. And sure enough, I go do universities and go do comedy clubs, and after the show, people be like, I used to watch you on Ant Farm. I was like, oh, thank you. You know, so I'm glad I did it. I ended up doing Showtime roadies, and that's where I met Cameron Crowe and J.J. Abrams. And that, I thought you couldn't get any bigger than those two. But they got canceled. So, damn. But I was already, you know, I was like, I just bought this car. Oh, my God.
Wow.
And, but a whole year working with those guys and just learning the game from that level, I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world. And here we are, full circle. Showtime is like, we loved you then, we love you now. We saw your special, we want to hear it. So, you know. I'm glad you don't go and act a fool. And you be like, y'all canceling my motherfucking show after a year.
Sometimes you want to.
Yeah, you want to, but you don't. Because those same people are like, hey, you want to do a comedy special? You're like,